What's up, squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen the title's going down. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. So we all have, and seen that Zohran Mamdani has, obviously went to, meet with President Trump at, the White House. And one thing about it is that I truly feel as if Mamdani has really, truly gotten, in a sense, humbled. But then again, I've seen clips over and over and over. I'm sure y'all have too. And if y'all haven't, I will be showing some, of Mamdani literally having a different type of energy, and then have the same energy when it came to, having that meeting with President Trump, which is, obviously pretty wild. Says, what do you think Mamdani is here for? To beg, to save face, to get humbled in person. And I truly feel like he obviously then got humbled in person. But then again, when you go and like I've said in my previous video, and I stated this and I meant this, what I said, Mamdani is the type of person that literally will go in this interview, talk to this person, say this, say that, and say a whole bunch. But then when you actually get face to face, it's a whole different story. Whole different story. It says here, all of a sudden, Mamdani has the courage to insult President Trump when he isn't in front of him. Check it out.
In that press conference with President Trump, a reporter asked you whether you believe that President Trump is in fact a fascist, a word that you've used in the past. You were about to answer, then President Trump sort of jumped in and he said, quote, "That's okay, you can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it." So, Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
so you do?
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like to deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New Yorkers.
You've also said in the past that President Trump has engaged in a, quote, attack on our democracy. You've called him a despot. Do you still believe President Trump is a threat to the democracy?
Everything that I've said in the past, I continue to believe. And that's the thing that I think is important in our politics, is that we don't shy away from where we have disagreements, but we understand what it is that brings us to that table. Because I'm not coming into the Oval Office to make a point or make a stand. I'm coming in there to deliver for New Yorkers. And a few weeks ago, I was asked by a reporter 3 words to describe myself. I said, New York City. And that's what animated that conversation. How do we deliver for the people of New York City?
So let me explain something to y'all before I furthermore, have to say what I have to say. This is what they're talking about.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
I've spoken about...
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it.
Mamdani he never said yes. When that energy, and when he said, and I said yes after he said, he did not have the energy when he said that. It would have been totally dead. Like, I didn't hear him say yes at all. I don't know about y'all, but...
Do you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. It's easier.
Not one time. But then he gets on here and get on this platform and say, I said yes after he said, no, you didn't. I'm telling y'all, this is what makes me mad. This stuff right here. This is what makes me mad, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
I want to know, one of the policies as well that Mayor-elect Mamdani talked a number of times about on the campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech you didn't mention anything about America or Christians or white people in general, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform, because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation deregulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another weight that we see in our
But to be
city.
clear, you're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
That's what you said.
no, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
So one thing about it is that you obviously could never trust Mamdani. Obviously, President Trump knows, how he is as a person. He knows what he's doing. He has a plan. But at the same time, just based off what Mamdani has said over in the past, and now people are checking him over it and asking him these questions. He's in the White House having his meeting. That's why President Trump is looking like this always did. I obviously heard something totally different. But now it's like, oh, I'm actually in front of him. I need to get my act together. We obviously know, he can't be trusted. But one thing about it is that he does not have this same energy that he's had on NBC whatsoever. This is, Christian Wilkin asked, did anything happen in that meeting that that made you think, yes, he can deliver on that promise for Americans, for New Yorkers, regarding affordability? Check it out.
Saying that President Trump had not delivered on his promise of affordability. Did anything that happened in that meeting make you think, yes, he can deliver on that promise for Americans, for New Yorkers?
Well, I spoke to the president about the fact that while our campaign technically began on October 23rd last year, for many people, they became aware of it after the president won his election. And when I went out and spoke to New Yorkers, asking them who did they vote for and why, in two neighborhoods that swung most significantly towards the president. This was Fordham Road in the Bronx, Hillside Avenue in Queens. And I shared with the president that when I asked those New Yorkers why did they vote for the president, they told me again and again it was cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And when the president and I were speaking, we were speaking about what is preventing from delivering on that affordability agenda. Sometimes it's a lack of taking on the broken system that we have, and I spoke about in New York City, for example, zoning regulations. We spoke about ULURP. This is a process by which you
guaranteed
either
until
approve or deny
President Trump
zoning
did.
changes that are made in New York City. We spoke about the need to change so many of those situations such that a developer doesn't tell you the thing more expensive than labor or materials is waiting. And we also spoke about the importance of understanding what it is that hurts New Yorkers in their pockets. It's their rent, it's their childcare, it's their utilities, and it's their childcare. Because the childcare, I say twice because it is the second highest cost after housing.
No, he said twice because he's full of it.
$2,500 a year.
Let me explain something to y'all. A lot of what he says, to this person, to that person, this interview, to the people in New York City, a lot of these things, I guarantee he didn't say to President Trump. We've seen it, with our two eyes, and heard that a lot of what he's talking about right now, he didn't say in a White House in that meeting. The energy that he has in this interview, he didn't have in a White House meeting. And that right there just goes to show you the type of person that he is. Obviously, there was talk, about the affordability. Literally has it here. President of the United States meets the, Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani in the Oval Office and obviously says this.
We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And one thing about it is that President Trump saying, and we're going to help him. And y'all can see how serious President Trump's face is. We're going to help him. We're going to guide you through. You ain't never had no real job. Especially nothing like this. And I'm tired of people saying, oh, you can't say that he's never had a real job and he hasn't. From my understanding, bro was on what is it, Disney Channel? He was rapping or something like that. Nothing like this. But you have President Trump that will guide him. Because evidently he don't know what he's doing. We all see that before he even got sworn in. So we see a lot of it. And I truly feel, y'all. I truly feel that, you have Zohran Mamdani. I know a lot of people, is mad about a lot of what's going on. I'll say this, and I say this again. President Trump knows what he's doing. He sits here and he says that, this broken system that we have, and he speaks this different tone when he's in this interview. But in the White House, he's getting humbled. Walmart, clearly, is 25% less down. That's what I truly don't get out of people. Like, make it make sense, y'all. Think about what President Trump, this is, again, his first year. Starting off the year. Starting off the year. And y'all have it right here. A lot more done than what Biden administration has done. And I feel like, man, I truly don't get it when it comes to certain people that just don't pay attention to a lot of this. I'm telling y'all. Check it out.
Out there, but who knows? We're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people, he won't surprise them because they already like him.
Exactly. Let me explain something to y'all. As y'all can see, just based off of that, y'all see who's in control. Y'all see who's in control about a lot of it. Zohran Mamdani, he's one of those people that's real big talk. When he talk, oh, yeah, I'm going to talk a good game and this, that, and the other. I'm telling y'all. He's a person that's definitely all talk. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts and comments on this video. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.